Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we will be taking a look at cartoons. This is part of English paper 1. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Please watch the ads. There's a membership live on our channel. We have all things academic, which is for students according to the South African rand or currency, and in that we're going to get everything academic advice, and you can ask questions and they will be answered in that membership. And then there is also a mathematics membership, which is 229 rand per month. So in that membership, we'll be doing all things mathematics basics, like helping you to build up and how to do how to solve mathematical problems, going deeper into the roots of mathematics. Is a very easy subject, but we are going to simplify it even more there. We are going to learn how to factorize and all those things, like all the nice stuff. So make sure you tune in and join the membership if it's something for you. But if it's not, we'll still have our regular videos on the channel to still help you improve your marks and stimulate your mind. So without wasting any more of your time, guys, let's get right into this video. So we'll be doing cartoons. This is for both English first additional language and the English home language. Okay, so it's a self-study guide. You can download it from the Department of Basic Education website. And yeah, we are just going to see what we need to know about cartoons. So here is a summary or key concepts. And a cartoon is a single drawing, often accompanied by words, as you can see, like in a box. So that is a cartoon. It's amusing in order to make us laugh, or it's serious in order to draw attention of something that cartoonists want people to think about. Okay, so it can either be just a joke or a serious matter that is being addressed through cartoons. And then there's a comic strip. Is a series of drawings where each separate drawing tells a part of the story. Each separate drawing is called a frame. So this cartoon will have different comic strips, okay, called frames. And this will be like scenes, like you take it as if like it's a scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, according to the number that the cartoonist choose to write out their story. Okay, so a punchline, the story in a cartoon strip usually builds up to and ends with a punchline. So a punchline consists of the last few words of a story, which make that story amusing or clever, or both. It can be amusing and both clever. Okay, so in a cartoon strip, both the words and the drawing in the final frame contributes to the punchline. Like a single cartoon strips may also be amusing or serious. Okay, so the difference between speech and thoughts are conveyed by either a solid line bubble or normal speech. So in a cartoon, there are instances where the person is thinking. The indication of someone thinking, we'll see it by dots. There is that, as you can see on screen, this oval shape that is written in dots. It means that the character in the cartoon is thinking. Okay, if it's just a straight line, then they are talking out loud. Sorry. So a dotted line balloon for whispering as well. Okay, so when they are whispering, we have a dotted line. So I'll just making an example. Now let's look at this. So if you see a dotted line bubble for whispering, if there are 2 or more characters, it is called a whisper bubble. But if there is only one character, it shows focus or concentration. Okay, that is what this one means. And then a jagged line bubble is for shouting. So if you see something like that with stars all around, it's for shouting. Okay, and then a small circled tailored bubble for thoughts is called a thought bubble. So this is a thought bubble. Now the dotted one, it's for whispering. This one, it's when a person is like talking normally, so you need to know the difference. And this is when a person is shouting and when a person is thinking. So these are the different types of bubbles that you have to know. In some cartoon, the speech bubble is not used. Instead, a thin line links the speaker to the words. Okay, so example 1 of how to analyze a cartoon frames a speech bubbles. So a text box set the scene one Monday at lunch time. So that is a text box. Okay, and then each picture is called a frame. As you can see, frame 1 it's where they say a bubble, a speech bubble is a speech in a bubble with a tail pointing at pointing to who is talking. Sometimes there's only a tail and no bubble. Okay, it's still the same thing. Someone is talking out loud. The tail is that thing that is pointing at the person, that the drawing's mouth. Okay, and then in frame 2 is where they say yes, and that one above your head is a thought bubble. Okay, if it's above your head, it's a thought bubble. You use it when you're thinking to yourself and not talking to anyone. So that guy there is thinking. And then we have, hey, are you listening to me? It's a shouting bubble. Has a spilky edge and tail. All right. Bold fronts, capital letters, and exclamation mark indicate shouting. So always look out for that. Okay. Yes, you don't need to shout. That is a punchline. That will be the last thing that will be said. So a cartoon will end with a punch line. So sometimes cartoons have speech without a bubble and only tail. We've gone through that. So those are the things that you have to look out for in a cartoon. So we are going to look at the characteristics of cartoon. When a cartoon is studied, the following aspects should be considered. So there's a setting where it's a scenario. Okay, where and when is the scene taking place? Take note, the scenario is provided so you can identify the names and characters. Okay, and the second thing, we have characters. Are they figures in their own right, or do they represent stereotype? Note facial expressions, body language, and relationship between characters. So those are the things that you should look out for, because little words are used, but expressions are also used as well. So everything, the drawing, everything contributes towards the cartoon portraying a full story. And then there are actions. Note lines and facial expressions that are used to indicate an action. When someone is shouting, maybe the mother will be holding their what do we call this? They'll be holding their waist, yes, just to show that they are shouting with both their hands. And then language, structure. Does the cartoon consist of single words, phrases, or sentences? Look at the words depicting time. Okay, and then remember, these are the adjectives and adverbs. So objective is the intention to educate, inform, entertain, or satisfy. So what is the objective of this cartoon? You have to know whether it is to educate, inform, entertain, or to satirize. Okay, when studying cartoons, the focus on non-verbal and verbal communication. So non-verbal communication includes facial expressions, the tone, the pitch of the voice, gestures displayed through body language, and the physical distance between the communicators. So that is non-verbal communication. And then verbal communication consists of facial expressions, the tone and pitch of the voice, gestures displayed through body language, the physical distance between the speaker. And then we have verbal communication. Indicates aspects such as repetition, imperative, dialogues, and so forth. Okay, so this is a verbal communication. So a cartoon can be written in so many different ways. So let's try to practice. The questions set here are meant to enhance and test your knowledge of cartoon. They will test your knowledge. So let's study the cartoon below and answer the questions. This instructions confines you to the cartoon stripes below. Your response to open-ended question will still be based on the cartoon string. So here we have a task zits, and we have frame 1, frame 2, and frame 3. Okay, and here it says there is Jerry. You are cleaning your room? Yeah, and I found a bunch of stuff I didn't even know. That is frame 1. It's like someone is opening the door, and this person is actually surprised that Jeremy is cleaning his room. Can you see from frame 1? And then in frame 2, a Bill Clinton pears dispenser, a pack of brand new guitar strings. So he is showing the mother, it looks like the mother, what he's found in his room in frame 2. And then in frame 3, he's also showing her the window. You see by the hands, like ta-da. So that's what is happening here. Note, this cartoon, the teenager's name is Jeremy, and the woman is his mother. So from frame 1, so we have to answer looking at frame 1. Okay, how does the cartoonist use visual and verbal clues to convey the mother's surprise in frame? So we learn about visuals and verbal. Okay, verbal talking, visuals just by looking. So with her visual, her mouth is wide open. So it's a visual way, like her mouth is wide open and her eyes are wide open. So that's how they're using visuals. Okay, so that is how you can do how does the cartoonist uses a visual and a verbal clue to convey the mother's surprise in frame 1. So her mouth is wide open and her eyes are wide open. Okay, and then how do we know that Jeremy does not often clean his room? We're still in frame 1. He says he found things he did not even know he had. Okay, so you quote. He said he found things that he didn't even know he had. That's how we know. So when you're talking about visual and verbal clues, you're just looking at whatever that the comic person who wrote the comic decided to use to portray messages. So you can see by the mother's expressions in frame 1 what is exactly happening here. She's shouting, she's opening her eyes are wide open, her mouth is wide open. Rewrite a bunch of stuff in more formal language. Okay, you have to rewrite a bunch of stuff in a more formal language. What is a bunch? It's like a lot of things. Okay, so a bunch of stuff is like a lot of stuff. And then you can say a large number of possessions for a more formal language. So he found a large number of possessions. Yes. And then let's look at this one. Number 4. Rewrite Jeremy's words, yeah, and I found a bunch of stuff I didn't even know I had, in reported speech. Start with Jeremy exclaimed. So you need to write it in reported speech. So Jeremy exclaimed that he had found a bunch of stuff he hadn't even known he had. So when is you're reporting, you're talking, you telling someone, this is what Jeremy had said. So that is reported speech. Okay. That's how you write it. And then in frame B, now we're looking at frame B. We are done with frame 1. That's how you answer. He's showing the mother what he found. Explain what Jeremy is doing in frame 2. He's showing his mother some of the objects he found. So he's showing her what he had found in his room. That's what he's doing in frame 2, guys. Okay? And then number 2 says, choose the correct answer to complete the following sentence. Write only the number of the questions and the letter you choose. For example, 2.2, A, or whatever. So his mother appeared to be, let's look at her. Disinterested, unhappy, focused, bored. Let's look at her. She is focused. That's how she is. She is literally staring at this thing, giving it its full attention. So she is focused. And then now we're referring to frame 3. Explain why Jeremy's attitude is ironic. Why is his attitude ironic? Because he is pointing to a window he thought he never had. Look at him. Excitedly, like, I don't even know how to, like, but he is just pointing at a window he thought he never had while he stayed in that room. Okay? So it triumphantly points to a window he thought he never had, but it's always there, only hidden behind the mess in his room. So that is the irony. So if someone would have asked him, do you have a window? He wouldn't have known if he hadn't cleaned his room. So his mother's attitude is different in frame 1 and 3. Explain the contrast in the 2 frames by referring to her body language. So let's look at frame 1. And then frame 2, she's closing her mouth. Her eyes are even shut. So what is the contrast? You have to know, you have to be able to answer what is the contrast. Like the contrast, what is like the change, okay? The change. That is what you need to answer there. Because in frame 1, his mother is smiling and her words are encouraging. Are you cleaning? In frame 3, she's standing upright. She's speechless, indicating her shock at Jeremy's wrong perception. Like she's shocked that she's closing her mouth. She's just like, what is this? What have I just witnessed? So that is the contrast, okay? From being smiling and surprised, or you can say surprised, to her being speechless and shocked. Okay? And then D, do you think Jeremy's excitement at discovering his window is justified? Substantiate your answer. So it's an open-ended question. So even if you said yes or no, as long as your reason is makes sense, you will be given an answer. Okay? Substantiate means supporting your answer. So if you say yes, you can say the teenagers are renowned for not cleaning their rooms. So they are known for not cleaning their rooms, and they're usually self-absorbed. Okay? Or yeah, you can say yes, teenagers are known for not cleaning their rooms and they're usually self-absorbed. Or you can say no, Jeremy should have more respect for himself and his parents and keep his room neat and tidy. So it is not something that we can justify that he is only discovering that he has a window in his room now. Okay? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the this cartoon. Let's look for another one. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. If you're watching, you're still watching, which means you're enjoying. So yeah, like the video. It helps the channel. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends and families, and make sure that they're also going to do very well this time. So task 8, study the comic strip below and answer the set questions. Okay, so this we have here a cartoon with 4 frames. So here we have frame 1. It feels like I've been inside forever. This looks like a child. Is it a child? No, not a child. He's probably a teenage boy or whatever. You can look by the way he's wearing his cap. And then it's a father reading a newspaper in frame 1. It feels like I've been inside forever. That is what the boy is saying. Frame 2 says, I can't go to the movie theater or pizza parlor. I miss my classmates. He looks sad. And then frame 3, Anne Frank and her family spent 2 years in an attic. Annie Frank and her family spent 2 years in an attic. That's what the father's saying. And then frame 4, yeah, I expected that blank and no I don't know. They have cut the rest of the conversation there. But yeah, the name of the boy in the cartoon is Curtis, and the man is his father or dad. So here are the questions. Refer to the appearance of the 2 characters. How can we tell that they are not of the same age group? Mention 2 contrasts. Well, firstly, we can talk about, let's look at their hair. The boy has black hair and the man has gray hair. The boy is wearing a cap while the man is not, so that shows. The man is reading a newspaper while the boy has his hands in his pockets. And the boy is small and the man is big. So you can mention 2 of the contrasts that I've just mentioned. And then refer to frame 2. You see, this is just easy. You just have to be looking there and writing what you see. You're not going to be failing cartoons anymore. Refer to frame 2. Identify 2 visual clues which indicate that the boy is sad. Visual clues. Visual clues. The more you can see the frown in his forehead. Can you see the frown in his forehead? That also indicates that he is sad, and his eyes are facing down in frame 2. I think frame 2 gives us more things to work with, and the way his mouth is curving down. So yeah. And then for C, rewrite the following contractions in full. The more so I've, the first one, IVE is I have, and that can't with its cannot. Okay, I have, and the next one is cannot. So, and then in D, combine the following sentences into a single sentence. I can't go to the movie theater. I can't go to the pizza parlor. So we can you have been given what to begin with. Begin with I can neither. So I can neither go to the movie theater nor the pizza parlor. That is how you combine it into one. I can neither go to the movie theater nor the pizza parlor. That is how you combine it to be one sentence. You were given neither. Neither is I cannot do this and this. Okay. Rewrite the following words in South African English. Theater, parlor. Rewrite the following words in South African English. It's still theater. We're going to change the spelling. So the parlor for South African English will still be PARLOUR. So that is parlor in South African English. Between O and R, there is an U. Okay. That's what we have there. And then theater. No, theater is still written like that in South African English. Am I wrong? No, it's not written like that. I just written it now. I'll write it like theater. Yes. So no, it's not like that. So the R goes in front of the E. Yeah, that's the theater. And then complete the following tag question. Write only the missing words. So you have to complete the tag question and write only the missing words. Anne Frank and her family spent 2 years in a attic, didn't they? Because you have to complete the following tag question. That's what you say. Anne Frank and her family spent 2 years in an attic, didn't they? That's how I would write that. And then rewrite the following sentence in the negative form. I expected that look. So you can say I didn't expect that look. So that is in a negative form. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Until the next video.